Hey guys, I hope you can hear me. My headphone's about to crap out on me. It's always something. I decided to wait till I got past all the curves to start this up because it seems like every time I go around a sharp curve, this falls off and looks like I'm getting ready to pass some guy going slow up here in a minute. But um, I don't have, honestly, a lot to talk about today. I should do these videos at night on my way home because I have all day and I listen to things, and so I function better at night than I do during the day, and it's in the afternoon right now. This morning I mostly listened to Kino Casino before I came in, and people that don't know what that is, it's like this show that makes fun of locales. It's pretty funny, and they were talking about JF because his new baby mama was on some live stream with these women in Alberta, Canada, where this all went down. If you don't know who he is, he had this woman that was kind of slow-minded that he called Mama JF, and she went missing. And a lot of people think he did it. I'm kind of inclined to think he did it too, because the whole thing is just suspect. I don't know, but I was listening to them, and it's you think it would be funnier, but it's actually kind of sad because she left behind. I'm not sure if they were both of her kids, but there's like two little kids. I think that they're both hers, but the whole thing was kind of sad, so I listened to that. And I tried to watch this movie called Little Drummer Girl, but it's kind of slow. It was a movie based on the guy's book, and he wrote the book The Russia House, which I remember I read that years ago, and it was kind of not my type of book. It was kind of slow. All summer, because of my job, I get, I can listen to things while I work, and I do listen to podcasts, but that gets kind of old. I can only do so much politics, and I love music, but that also, after a while, my ears, I already probably, if I went to like a doctor, would tell me I need a hearing aid because I don't hear that well. A lot of times, it's probably from years and when I was younger, blasting music. And when I was really young and I would go to shows, I never would put earplugs in. And then after going to a couple shows where the speakers almost burned my ears out, I was like, yeah, I'm going to start using earplugs or at least put something in my ear. So I started doing that, but so I'd listen to books mostly at work. And this summer I listened to a lot of autobiographies and a lot of biographies. And right now I'm listening to Sally Field's book. And honestly, I never really liked her that much. I mean, I've seen quite a few of her movies, and she's not that likable in her book either. Now, maybe she's really a nice lady in real life. I don't know. She just comes off as really whiny and just complains nonstop. And it's like, you're rich, you get to do a job that most people can only dream of. You don't have to go clean up after people. You don't have to wait tables. Just do jobs where people treat you like shit. You don't make any money. So it's really kind of hard to feel sorry for you because, oh, I had to be in the Flying Nun. And, I'm sure I've never actually watched that show. I think my dad liked it. He liked all those old sitcoms because that's when he was young, was when all those shows were on. But I'm sure that those shows, even though it's kind of corny, really brought a lot of people happiness. I know William Catt, he was the greatest American hero. For years, he didn't really want anything to do with that because he thought it was stupid and he was like a serious actor. But I like William Catt. I met him at a convention. He seems like a sweet guy. He's kind of short. He's about maybe shorter than me. But he was sweet, and I always thought he was like hot back in the day, like in Carrie. I mean, he still looks good. God, now, I don't know. I met him probably, it was 2018, I think. He was at a convention in Kansas City called Crypticon, and I went, and there was a whole lot of people there. It's not like Texas Frightmare in Dallas where that's just packed. I would like to go back to that sometime. I didn't go this year. I went I guess I went in 2024. I did not go 2025, but I enjoy going. It's fun. Mostly to see the vendors. I don't do autographs anymore because they're getting too expensive. The last autograph I got Dee Wallace. And I actually got her last year at Crypticon too. And she wasn't super expensive, but these people just started charging so much money. But she was sweet. It was kind of sad. I noticed her hand was shaking when she signed the picture, but I really wanted a picture of E.T. What is this guy doing? He's motioning for me to go around. What are you doing, dumbass? Sorry. But, yeah, he was like slowing way the fuck down with his arrow on, and then he was motioning for me to go around him. He still has his arrow on, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, yeah, driving sucks. I like driving if no one's on the road, and I like driving at night better, especially now that I got my eyes fixed, I can see a lot better. One thing when you have cataract surgery and they replace your lens, though, you see these kind of halos over the lights. But I don't mind. They said a lot of people get annoyed with seeing the halos. I think it makes it more neater, makes it more look crisper than just the light just beaming out at you. But anyway, I'm getting way off topic. That's my problem. I get way off topic and I ramble. But I was originally talking about Sally Field, but I'm not to the part because I kind of ran out of good autobiographies or biographies. I read one about Timothy Leary's third wife this summer, and it was good. I didn't do audio on that. I just read it. It was called The Acid Queen, and I really enjoyed that. And but it's like a lot of the biographies or autobiographies I see them on Kindle. I've read or listened to. It seems like most of them of anybody I care about. So now I'm doing ones of people I don't really like, in the hopes that maybe I'll listen to a book and I'll like them more. Like I just recently listened to Pamela Anderson's book, and I never really liked Pamela Anderson. She just seemed like kind of a bimbo to me. But I saw the movie The Last Showgirl, and I actually really liked it, and I thought she was really good. I had no idea the woman could act, and I enjoyed that, but I didn't really like her either. She just came off as kind of bitchy and, oh, I'm really smart. I read all these books, and I mean, good for you. But she's also one of these people that just doesn't seem like aware. I don't know. You just have to read it. It was really short. It was like 5 hours, and she didn't talk a whole lot about Tommy Lee because I wanted to hear more about that stuff because I was always a big fan of Motley Crue and I like Tommy Lee. But she's one of those people that kind of listened to the book, and I didn't really like her any more than I did. I watched the documentary about her on Netflix, I don't know, a couple of years ago, whenever it came out, hoping the same. And once again, I'm just like, yeah, I don't like you. And the Last Showgirl is a really good movie, though. She was really good in that. But I don't know, I just didn't really care for her. And then I listened to a book that Prince started writing with this guy, but then Prince died before he got the book finished because I'm a huge Prince fan. I went to see the movie Sign of the Times this summer. It was actually no, it was not Labor Day. What was the holiday? Was it Labor Day? It was one of the holidays we had. I don't think it was whenever Rocklahoma was going on, so I guess it would have been because it was in September. I really wanted to go to Rocklahoma because Marilyn Manson was going to be there, and since he pretty much got Me Too'd out of existence, he doesn't tour much anymore. I think he's starting to tour again. But he was there, and Alice Cooper was there. And I've never been a huge fan of Alice Cooper. He sang some songs that I liked. I liked the song Poison. And he did a song on was it Jason Lynn's? It was Friday the 13th 6. He did a song on there. And I mean, I liked him though, as far as, he's been around forever. It's kind of like an icon like Ozzy was. And Ozzy's gone, and I've seen a lot of old bands, but I never got to see Ozzy. I had friends that saw him. I met these people, it's a whole other story. I met these people when I was in high school because I went to get tickets to see Kiss when they reunited back in '96. And I was in high school, and me and my boyfriend at the time, we stayed in Fayetteville where we had to get the tickets because the show was in Kansas City because we didn't have the internet or anything, and you just had to buy the tickets in person. So I didn't know how the hell we were going to get there because neither one of us had a car. I don't even think I had my learner's permit then. I don't even think I had my driver's license yet. And yeah, because I don't think I did. We were going to go, and we had no clue how we were going to go because it's like there was no way in hell my dad was going to take it. And my boyfriend at the time, I don't think his parents were in the middle of getting a divorce, and I think they were going to take us because he actually ended up moving later on in the summer. But I met this couple in line, this married couple, and we were talking, and because the concert was in Kansas City. Kansas City's like 3.5, 4 hour drive from where we lived. Had no way to get there. And so I just straight up asked them, I'm like, would you guys give us a ride? And they said, sure. And they did. And they were really cool. And they called and they were like, we're going to make sandwiches. Do you like roast beef? And they were really nice. And I became friends with them after that for a long time until, I don't know, we lost touch because they moved away. And I even went to visit them a couple times, and they come back to Fayetteville or Arkansas. But so I got to see Kiss, and it was great. It was so much fun. And then I've seen most of like the guys in the quote hair metal, glam metal scene, because Rocklahoma back in the day when Rocklahoma started in 2007, that's mostly what it was. It was like Warrant and Skid Row and Motley Crue, you know, just all those bands, Cinderella, and I grew up listening to all that stuff, so I would go, and I had my friend would go with me back then, and then I had another friend, a couple. I wasn't super close friends with them because they lived in the Fort Smith area. I actually met them at a show. This was back in the days of MySpace, and I messaged them and just was like, "Hey, I saw you at it was an LA Gun show in Bentonville. There used to be this place called the Ice House, and it was great. It was a really nice place. I saw Bret Michaels there too, and I met them, and we started hanging out. And they invited us to parties, and they started going to Rocklahoma. And sadly, the lady died. I don't know how many years ago it's been, maybe 5 years. She wasn't that old. She's like in her 50s. She had cancer, and it was real sad. So I'd always go with them, or I'd meet them there. I didn't go with them, but we'd always meet up. And then now I don't really have anybody to go with, so I didn't end up going. But I would have liked to see Alice Cooper because he's getting, I don't know, I'm guessing he's got to be in his 70s. As you think all those guys are getting up there. But I always regretted I never got to see Ozzy. But oh, back to my friends that I met at the Kiss show. They saw Ozzy shortly after I met them, and they even offered, you know, if I could go, but they didn't have tickets. And they got me a button. It was when Bill Clinton was president. It was really funny. And I still have the button, and it says Ozzy for president. I fucking inhaled, and it was great. Hell, it might be worth some money now. But they brought me that back, and I thought it was cool that they brought me that. But I never got to see them. I never got to see Aerosmith. They're another band. The same friends went. I went to Illinois for the summer. I came back, and they had tickets to see Aerosmith. And this was back when Aerosmith was still pretty good. This was after Get a Grip. I don't know what came out after that, because that was the last Aerosmith album that I bought. It was the album after that they were touring for, because this would have been 96, 97. And I came back, yeah, it had to be 97, because I came back from out of town, and they were like, yeah, we're going to go see Aerosmith if you can get tickets. And my aunt even offered to buy me tickets, and they were in the fan club, so they got guaranteed on the first 10 rows or 20 rows. And I called them up, and they'd already sold out, and so I never got to see them either. And I don't know if they're touring anymore. So this has kind of been a shitty year for me for going to shows, because I haven't been to one show this summer, and I used to go see at least one band. They had some 80s revival at one of the casinos nearby, and they had like Wang Chung and I think Rick Springfield. And I saw Rick Springfield years ago, and that was fun. I enjoyed seeing Rick, and I had good tickets to that. But it's usually when I have to work. And last Christmas time, I went with Mosca and Paul, and we saw Debbie Gibson. Or I saw Debbie Gibson with Mosca, and then the next night we'd stayed the night. The next night, this was in Oklahoma, and the next night I went with Paul to see Cheap Trick. And it's always fun. I've seen Cheap Trick probably like 6 times now. I don't know. I've seen them a lot. And they're getting up there too, but they still do a good show, and they sound good. Some of the bands do not look or sound good anymore. Kiss is one of those bands where Paul Stanley just can't sing anymore. Man, guys, time to hang up your hat. I think they retired like 10 times. Sorry, my throat gets really dry talking, and then I'm about out of water here. So excuse me for that. But anyway, so just listening to these biographies and autobiographies, it's just something that's kind of easy to listen to at work, because sometimes I get interrupted, people want to talk, and then I have to stop what I'm listening to. So some books, it's harder to get into with others. And with biographies, autobiographies, it's usually pretty easy. And I wanted to get with the Sally Field book, I wanted to get the Burt Reynolds part, but then people online were saying, I guess, she didn't really have nice things to say about Burt. I always liked Burt Reynolds, you know. I don't know. I loved the movie Boogie Nights. I thought he was great in that. He didn't even want to take the part because he thought that maybe it glorified the porn industry. I don't think it did. I thought it was the opposite. Like Mosca was saying, he wouldn't watch Nora because he thought that glorified like strippers, and I said no. I thought it was the opposite. I think it's because at the Academy Awards they get up and thank sex workers that there's confusion about that, because if you guys saw the movie, it's about this girl that ends up, she's like a sex worker, stripper, whatever, escort. This Russian guy It's basically this guy that has, his parents have money and connections in Russia. They're very wealthy, and he pays her like $10,000 or whatever it is. Maybe it's more, I can't remember, to be with him for the week. And they end up, having a good time, and then he proposes to her, and they get married in Vegas. Of course, his parents find out. They send these thugs to go get him, and they're going to annul the marriage, and she doesn't want to. In her mind, she thinks, like, no, we're really married. I thought it was good. I didn't think it glorified that at all. If anything, it kind of showed she just wanted a normal life. Um, I thought it was pretty good. I saw a lot of people kind of shitting on it. They didn't like it, but I enjoyed it. But Boogie Nights was kind of like that too. I don't think it really glorified pornography. I mean, it showed all the drug addiction issues, and then the one guy's wife was sleeping with all these men, and he would walk in on her because I'm assuming they didn't give a backstory on that. I'm assuming that the woman that was sleeping with all the men, she was at one time a porn star too, and she dropped out to marry this guy. If you guys have seen Boogie Nights, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it by now, you should see it. It came out, 97? It's been out a while, or 98? I always forget exactly what year. I remember when it came out because I wanted to see it. And I remember there was an article, I believe it was in Rolling Stone back in the day. I used to get Rolling Stone, and they were talking about, like, it's not a date movie, you don't want to take a date. And I went to Houston to see a friend for spring break, and I was a senior in high school, but I was 18. And I went there, and it was playing there at their Dollar Theater. And I so wish we had gone and I could have seen it on the big screen, because it's not one they ever put back in the theaters. I was talking yesterday about how they put a lot of these old movies back. I don't think they're ever going to put Boogie Nights back in the theaters. But it was playing at the Dollar Theater, and we didn't go see it. We saw The Dark, what was it called? It had Kiefer Sutherland, and I didn't care for it. The Dark City, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. I didn't like that movie really, but we did see Jackie Brown at the Dollar Theater, and that was fun. And Titanic was out that year, and at the time, everybody just loved Titanic. I don't think that movie aged well. I could still watch it. Maybe as an adult, I've watched it twice. I like the part where the boat goes down, or the ship goes down, more than I actually like the love story, because I don't know. I don't really like the Rose character, and I could go into that for days. I like Kate Winslet. I think she's a good actress, but I just didn't think it was like a great. I mean, it's not as great as it was when it came out. The special effects were really good for the time, but that reminded me. Oh yes, Kill Bill is going to be back in the theaters, and they're going to show both movies as one movie, the way it was supposed to be shown, the whole bloody affair. And they were saying the part, if you've seen Kill Bill, the part where the bride pops the guy's eye out and everything turns to black and white, that's actually going to be in color, because I guess it was originally supposed to be, but because of the ratings, they were afraid they maybe would get an NC-17, I'm guessing, because it was so violent. Which is funny now, because if you watch the Terrifier movies, that's way worse than anything at Kill Bill. I never had to look away at Kill Bill. I don't know, it wasn't like where Terrifier was like, oh, okay, enough. But I guess maybe the things have been pushed so far now that that's tame. So I don't know, I'm really hoping it comes here. I think it will. I heard it's going to get a wide release, because I already talked to my friend Brandon. We both love Kill Bill, and it's going to be like over 4 hours long in the theater. I'm assuming they'll have an intermission, and we're going to go see it for sure, because I love that movie. It's a great, fun movie. And I also got tickets. I'm going to go see the Wicked movies back to back. Next month they're going to show the first Wicked and the second Wicked. It starts at 11 a.m. and it goes till 4:30, because I'm going to be late to work that day, because I'm going to go, because I think it'll be fun to see them both. And then a friend of mine, he wanted to see it in 3D or IMAX, and if I like the second one, which I think I will, then it's like we can go see it in IMAX later, because I'm going to go see the back-to-back with Paul. Because we started to watch the first one on Amazon, but it's hard to watch. I think I've talked about this. Yesterday when I was doing this, the camera fell down. It seems to be holding up better now. The camera fell down twice. I had to start over. It was going hoarse. So I stopped it, and I don't remember what the hell I talked about, because I was like, yeah, I can edit it. I usually just kind of clip it and throw it together at work so I can put it up that night, just to get in the habit of doing it. Like, now that I'm going, I can't stop. I'm almost to work. And yesterday I just wasn't in the mood, and today I really kind of wasn't at first. I'm less hoarse. I don't know what it is, I start talking, I get all dried out. But I like these going to the movies and sitting there for 5 hours. Paul's like, I don't know if I can sit there for 5 hours. Like, really? I can. The only thing is getting food. But I'm assuming there'll be an intermission, or I can go somewhere like near the theater and get some food, or get popcorn. But AMC was supposed to. They did this thing for the holidays for Halloween. It was like this slasher thing, the Slash Pass, I think it was called. And for 66.66, you could go to 6 horror movies. And it's like, ooh, because I'll probably go see all the horror movies that are out. I've seen pretty much all the ones that have come out recently. There's a couple more that are coming out, like Shelby Oak I haven't seen. And I plan to go see Black Phone 2 maybe before work next week or maybe this weekend. I don't know. I still need to see the first one. But they showed all these old movies, like Nightmare on Elm Street. The original was going to be on there, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, Nightmare on Elm Street. Not playing at RAMC. Tulsa gets it, but we don't. Which is kind of stupid because this area, it's not as big as Tulsa, but the area's built up so much and there's so many things around here. You would think we could get that, but no, we don't get that. And Scream was supposed to be out, and I can't. Oh, the original Friday the 13th, and I was so stoked. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go see all these movies, and none of them are playing here, sadly. And so that was a letdown. And so I really hope Kill Bill does not fall the way of that. But I was actually talking to Brandon about that. If it does play in Tulsa, I think it would be worth it just to take the day and go to Tulsa, have a day out, go there, spend the day at the movies, and go see Kill Bill. So that's the plan. So hopefully it will come out. And I'm trying to think what else. I guess that's about it. I'm glad the phone didn't have any issues. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Like I said, my cord's about to short out here. I ordered one. It's supposed to be in today, actually. So maybe things will get better. Tomorrow I'm going to work early to go see the movie Roofman. And hopefully that'll be good. It got good reviews. And it's nice sometimes. I really enjoy Fridays before work. I go sit at the movies. I had a lot of eye doctor appointments this summer before my cataract surgery, and so I would have time. They would make my appointments at like 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock. I have to be at work at 3:30, and my commute's about 40 minutes, a little longer during the work week. Like right now, there's a lot of traffic because it's 3 o'clock. But I wouldn't want to drive home, because by the time I drive there, drive back, it's like, what can I do? I go shopping, go to the movies. So I did that a lot. AMC was showing a lot of matinees this summer, and sadly they don't have many matinees now. Malco's the matinee place, so I went there. I saw the movie Trust. It was decent. I didn't really know much about it. I was just looking for a movie to go see. And then I saw the new Witchboard. I enjoyed the new Witchboard. It was just kind of a fun throwback. It reminded me of something from the 80s. The guy that directed it, I can't remember his name, but he directed Nightmare on Elm Street 3, which well, I love all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, at least the old ones. I didn't really like the new one. Was garbage. There was no reason to make the new one. And if I had to rank them, I saw this guy subscribe to called Minty, and he did like a ranking. I think it was Minty that did a ranking of the Nightmare on Elm Street. His ranking and mine are probably pretty dead on. My favorite one is the first one, then it'll be the third one, and the fourth one, then probably the second one, the fifth one, the sixth one. I guess New Nightmare's decent. I saw that in the theater back in the day with my dad, and I don't think he knew what the hell was going on. Because I remember he wanted to go see one of the Puppet Master movies, and I was like, oh, let's go see Nightmare movie, because I never got to see any in the theater, because I was a kid when they came out, and back then, man, I was so jittery about horror movies. I don't know what happened. I hit puberty and I loved horror movies, because before that they would always scare me and give me nightmares. But anyway, I guess I will go. It looks like I'm stuck in traffic here. And thank you for watching. Bye.